GH, we're touchdown in the East End. Big ballers don't pretend. Running, cutting through defense. Have your team, them swimming in the deep end. Real black star, no treason. Kudus, left foot, dudoof. Believe the hype, East London. We outside, Abontin.
Hi, this is Mohamed Kudus. I'm happy to be here. Come on, you Irons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another exciting episode on Pious Football, where I bring you the latest in transfer news. We talk about tactical analysis of games and also discuss pertinent issues around football that you don't hear on mainstream European media. Now, the stories today are so packed and they are as exciting as I am, agitating to just start right now. So let's just go right in and start my first story for today at the camp of West Ham. Exciting news coming in is that the official announcement for Mohamed Kudus from Ajax to West Ham has been confirmed. I said in my previous episode that deal has already been done. Now the official announcement by both clubs has been officially announced. There is this exciting video that you watched before the program. At the beginning of the program, beautiful video, and I think that a lot of Ghanaian fans are going to be supporting West Ham United from this day onwards. The player brought his mother and his brothers from Ghana to his unveiling ceremony, which was really nice. So we are hoping that, once that Kudus is now an Iron and joins the Hammers, he's going to excite Premier League fans all across the globe. So I wish him all the best from Pious Football. Let's see Kudus dazzle like he did in Ajax in the Premier League. Also, at the camp of Manchester United, news coming in is that Dean Henderson, who was supposed to have gone to Nottingham Forest, the deal collapsed, but now he has made a switch to Crystal Palace. It's a permanent transfer, around £20 million plus add-ons. There is a sell-on clause inserted. Manchester United insisted on a sell-on clause being inserted in there. I'm sure that was one of the reasons why the deal collapsed between him and Nottingham Forest. But Crystal Palace allowed a sell-on clause to be inserted. The sell-on clause means that anytime that Dean Henderson is leaving Crystal Palace to another club, United will get a certain percentage of the price for which the player is moving. So let's see how that goes. Now, as a keeper is leaving, another is coming in to replace him. Alte Bayindir is a Turkish goalkeeper from Fenerbahce. He has joined Manchester United. I think the price around 5 million euros or thereabout. I'll bring you details of that deal. The player is set to travel to Manchester for his medical. So more details of that deal will come very soon. Also, at the camp of Lazio, they have announced the signing of Matthew Guendouzi for somewhere around 13 million euros plus 5 million add-ons. Remember, Guendouzi was at Olympique Marseille, the former Arsenal man. Went to Olympique Marseille, had a fantastic first season at Marseille, and now he's on the move again. I think he initially went to Marseille on loan from Arsenal, and then he went on a permanent deal. So he spent 2 years at the Olympic Stadium, and then he's now made a switch to Lazio in the Italian Serie A. So, wish him all the best. Also, at the camp of Leicester City and, Fulham. Now, Fulham looking for reinforcements for the new season. So, Fulham are ready to confirm the signing of Timothy Castagne from Leicester City for an undisclosed fee. Details are currently in the final stages. Details of that deal will come later. Let's see how much that Castagne is going to cost. But it is said that Marco Silva rates Castagne very highly, and that he's on top of his list. Let's see how that goes. The deal is almost done, so it's just a matter of final details and a medical, and then Timothy Castagne is going to move from Leicester City to the Craven Cottage. Also, at the camp of Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. Remember Benjamin Pavard, who was rumors about Pavard going to Manchester United, but the deal for that deal was hinged on whether Maguire would leave to West Ham, but that Maguire deal to West Ham collapsed, and Pavard couldn't move. Now the news is that Inter Milan have taken advantage of that and are now, finally about to sign Benjamin Pavard. A deal of around 32 million euros has been agreed between the two clubs. Personal terms have been agreed between the player and Inter Milan. The only challenge to the deal now is the manager of Bayern Munich, Thomas Tuchel, who is delaying the deal because he wants to sign a replacement first. Now, Bayern Munich played, I think, Augsburg this afternoon. Pavard was left out of the team, so I mean, it begs to differ. It begs the question: if you really need to replace him, why did you even leave him out of the team? But he was left out of the team. The Bayern won 3-1 against Augsburg this afternoon. He was left out of the team, but the manager wants to buy a replacement before he signs off on the player leaving. So I mean, but the player is pushing to leave the Bavarians, and so let's see what happens to that deal. Also at the camp of Everton. Now remember, Everton have been struggling in the Premier League. They struggled last season. They were almost relegated. But right now they are trying to make some reinforcements. They've lost Anthony Gordon to Newcastle, so they really need to make some very important signings. And they've brought in Beto from Udinese, the Portuguese striker. Mind you that Calvert-Lewin, who is the striker, the main striker at Everton, has struggled with injuries for so long. Part of the reason why Everton have been struggling is their star player Calvert-Lewin has lost form due to injuries, and so they are trying to replace him with a more potent striker, and Beto, they believe, is going to fit the bill. So let's see what Beto will bring to the Evertonians. Also at the camp of Barcelona, I want to talk about Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old. He's born in 2007. He is the youngest player to make an assist in the 21st century. Great achievement for the young lad. Barcelona played a pulsating 4-3 game against Villarreal this evening. He was fantastic. He was phenomenal. Mind you, I'm sure that, in one of my episodes when Ousmane Dembele announced that he was leaving, when I announced that Dembele was going to go to PSG, I was kind of, lamenting why Barca are so, comfortably going to allow Dembele to leave. But it shows that the faith that they have in Lamine Yamal, that Xavi Hernandez, the manager, believes that Yamal is someone who can, step in the vacant seat left by Ousmane Dembele. He provided an assist. He hit the woodwork twice, and then he was involved in the first goal for Gavi. So I mean, the guy, the boy is going to be phenomenal. Fantastic talent for Barcelona. I'm sure the Barca fans are really clearly excited by the boy. But he needs to manage the boy very well. He doesn't need to overplay him. He's only 16 years old. Remember that overplaying a teenager can really affect the growth of the player. Mind you, Pedri is currently struggling because he was seriously overplayed last season, and it caused a burn in him. So I hope that Xavi is well aware of this phenomenon and will try and shield the player. Hopefully, maybe he can rest him for a while in the next game before playing him again. So let's see. But I'm excited for Lamine Yamal, and I'm excited for Barcelona and all the fans. It's going to be really amazing watching this kid, while the La Liga and probably in the Champions League. So let's see how the career of Lamine Yamal, the Guinean-born Spanish, talent is going to fare. Also at the camp of Nottingham Forest. Now they want Wilfred Ndidi. That's the news that is coming through, that Nottingham Forest wants Wilfred Ndidi. Now, mind you that they lost 3-2 at Old Trafford in that game. Very annoying game for if you're a United fan. But eventually we had to do a comeback. It was very unnecessary, but we did it anyway. Thank goodness. But Nottingham Forest are trying to booster their midfield. And remember, I have already said this, that Wilfred Ndidi is one of those players that I am really shocked that teams are not actually trying to sign him. He's been phenomenal for Leicester City. He's been very robust in midfield. So I'm quite surprised that teams are not actually lining up to sign Wilfred Ndidi. But it looks like Nottingham Forest have seen a gem that he is, and they are willing to try and sign him. But right now it's just early days yet. They just registered their interest, so let's see how that deal will materialize. Also, at the camp of Manchester City, remember when their deal for Lucas Paqueta collapsed? Now they are looking for another option. That option is Matthew Nunes. Now Matthew Nunes is that Portuguese maestro who plays for Wolves. He came to Wolves from FC Porto at last 2 years. He's done fairly well, and I think that Pep Guardiola sees something in him that he feels he can, he can use. He wants a midfielder who is kind of very creative and also has the ability to score goals. So let's see if Matthew Nunes is going to excel at Man City. It looks like that deal will be done since the player has already agreed personal terms with Manchester City. Now, they initially, Man City made a bid of around, I think, 50 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons. That offer was turned down by Wolves. Now they have made an improved bid of 60 million euros for Matthew Nunes. So let's see if Wolves will bite this time and then accept that offer from Manchester City. Also, at the camp of West Ham now, the news that I just received this evening, shocking news, is that West Ham are thinking of re-engaging Manchester United for Harry Maguire. Wow, like amazing. I don't know. The source is from a journalist from The Sun. The Sun are not really the kind of paper that you want to really trust so well, but sometimes they do get their stories right. So if the source is supposed to be believed, West Ham are trying to re-engage Harry Maguire once again to try and see if they can revive the bid. Now, remember that 30 million pounds was agreed between the two clubs for Maguire. The problem was that, and then Maguire actually agreed 120 million pounds, 120,000 pounds a week with West Ham, but he wanted a payoff for the rest of his contract, before he left for to West Ham, which to me that doesn't even make any sense. It looks like he's trying to punish Manchester United for trying to sell him, which doesn't make any sense because you are a professional and you are playing for a club that doesn't need your services anymore. You might be under contract, but of course you hold the sole prerogative to stay. But if you are going to leave to get playing time, it's good for you and good for your career. Your international, presence for the Three Lions is dependent on you playing every week. So, if you have the chance to, join West Ham, a team that just won the Conference League, and then you want a payoff from Man United before you leave, then it means that you are not really serious as a footballer. You don't care about your career. You are interested in, sitting on the bench and being, what's the word? Emotional, and then staying on the bench and then taking 190,000 pounds a week. It makes no sense. So, let's see if West Ham can revive this deal. I'll be very surprised if this rumor is true, but let's see if it's going to be possible. West Ham getting Maguire will be really good for them because they are getting some, very good signings in there. So let's see if that deal will materialize. Also, at the camp of Strasbourg, Strasbourg fans protest against, multi-club ownership. You remember I told you, I said this in one of my episodes when, Chelsea was sending Angelo on loan to Strasbourg, that, look, this policy of buying Strasbourg, that now Strasbourg was bought by a Blue Co. Blue Co is a consortium, a sort of an amalgamation between Todd Boehly and I think Blue Lake, Clear Lake Capital. Yeah, Clear Lake Capital. No, that's the name. Clear Lake Capital and Todd Boehly, forming a consortium called Blue Co to buy Strasbourg for I think 65 million pounds. the fans were a bit concerned that they are trying to use Strasbourg as a launching pad for their teenage wonder kids, to develop them. So it's like they are using Strasbourg as a launching pad for their young players. And the fans didn't like the idea of that. And so they are sort of complaining, and, they are protesting Todd Boehly. They played a game over the weekend. Todd Boehly was there. The fans, went with, their banners to, say no to Todd Boehly. I don't know if Todd Boehly probably has to talk to the team. The president of the club said in the press statement, I think yesterday, that they are not going to make Strasbourg a launching pad for Chelsea youngsters, that they have their own vision for the club, and that he believes that the owners, Todd Boehly and clearly Capital, are going to invest in the team to buy certain players that really want to come to Strasbourg and for the long term, and not players coming in on loan and then moving on to bigger things. So let's see how Strasbourg is going to fair in the League One, and if the fans are going to get around their new owner. Also at the camp of Pep Guardiola, remember Guardiola is currently recovering from a waist surgery he had over the weekend. He's been having severe back pains for some time, but it looks like he couldn't sustain the pain, so he had to go under the knife. He's had surgery, but City won their game against Sheffield United this weekend 2-1. That win actually puts Pep Guardiola, the first manager in the Premier League to win 200 games, the quickest manager in the Premier League to win 200 games. Now, he used 269 games to win 200 Premier League games. The second on the list is Sir Alex Ferguson, who used 322 Premier League games to win 200 Premier League games. And then Mourinho comes in third with 326 Premier League games before he could win 200 Premier League games. And then Wenger comes in with in fourth with 32 Premier League games before he could win 200. And then David Moyes is on the list in fifth with 511 games before he could win 200 games. So, I mean, it shows that Guardiola is clearly ahead of the pack. If he spends more years in the Premier League, he's going to probably surpass Sir Alex Ferguson. He's currently about to break Sir Alex Ferguson's record of winning 4 Premier League titles on a row. He's won the treble already. So, I mean, Guardiola is clearly a genius. He is a prodigy in management. I mean, the sky is the limit for Manchester City and for Pep Guardiola. Now, he has renewed a contract that will end, I think, 2 years from now. Rumors are that after the contract ends, he's not going to renew. He's going to leave, which will be a relief for some of us, but let's see if that is going to happen, if Guardiola is going to leave the Premier League, because right now he's winning everything and we can't get ahead in, like United fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans. We are all praying that Guardiola will leave the Premier League. And then also at the camp of Manchester United, surprising news coming in is that United asked Chelsea about the availability of Marc Cucurella. Remember that Luke Shaw got injured, will be out for about 2 months. Now United want to replace him for the time being. Also, Malacia is also out injured. He didn't even go to preseason, so it doesn't look like he's going to be ready to start any game anytime soon. So United need someone, a left back, to come in and help. You remember that Diego Dalot, played at left back over the weekend, but it looks like Ten Hag wants a natural left back, in that position. So Marc Cucurella, who is surplus to requirement at Chelsea, could fit the bill. United fans are complaining about Cucurella, but to me, honestly, I don't think that it's a bad move. You are looking to get him on loan. It's not a permanent transfer, so I don't see why United fans are complaining so much. Other options at left back that United are considering are Sergio Reguilon, who is at Tottenham Hotspur, and also Marcos Alonso from Barcelona. So, I mean, they all have Premier League experience, which is what United are focusing on Premier League experience. So let's see if any of these left backs will come to Manchester United. For me, any left back that is good, has Premier League experience is good enough for me right now. Also at the camp of Tottenham Hotspur. Now I want to discuss some of the games that happened over the weekend. Now Tottenham Hotspur won. I think they won 2-0 against Sheffield United. Is it Sheffield United? Against Bournemouth. Yes, they won 2-0 against Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. What I want to focus on is how Ange Postecoglou, the manager of Tottenham, uses this inverted fullbacks. I made one of my initial sessions before the Premier League began. I said I was going to talk about talents that you should look out for in the upcoming Premier League season, and I mentioned Destiny Udogu. I said that this kid was amazing. He's a left back. He's really amazing. He was excellent in preseason, so I noted that this guy was going to do wonders. Now this guy Destiny Udogu and Pedro Porro at right back, playing in midfield when Tottenham are moving forward. They are wonderful to watch, and this strategy, this tactic is actually yielding results for Tottenham Hotspur. Without Harry Kane, they are still playing some fantastic football. And over the weekend, he joked that the idea to use inverted fullbacks, Destiny Udogo and Pedro Porro in midfield when they are moving forward, is kind of him copying Pep Guardiola. But he was joking with that. But he's started very well, 7 points from 3 games. So kudos to Tottenham. Also at the camp of Chelsea, they recorded their first win in the Premier League. They drew home to Liverpool and they lost to West Ham, but they won against Luton Town. It's Luton Town, so if you don't win, then it means you are in trouble. Raheem Sterling finally getting a brace for Chelsea. The first time he's done that, since he signed. And then my guy Nicholas Jackson did so well. He got a goal finally. I'm really happy for the kid. I hope that he keeps scoring. So yeah, Chelsea won against Luton Town. So happy days for Chelsea. Hopefully they will be able to get more wins, but let's see what happens. Also, at the camp of Arsenal, they had a frustrating weekend. Sunday, I think it was Saturday, right? They drew at the Craven Cottage 2-2 with Fulham. They were leading at 2-1, and then 87 minutes, Paulinho, scored from a corner. There are rumors about tensions between Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, but it's just football. He felt that Declan Rice, he felt that Kai Havertz should have passed a ball forward that he gave to him, but he gave a back pass. One of those frustrations for footballers. They always argue. Nothing extra about that. It's just normal. Arsenal will get better with time. They are already playing some fantastic football. You are not going to win every game, so sure, we expected them to win against Fulham, but it's a London derby, so anything can happen. Their next game is against Manchester United, so let's see how that goes. Also at the camp of Manchester United, wow, it was a very frustrating game. To be honest with you, I stopped watching that game somewhere around in the 70th minute. I was tired of it. I grew bored. The team played very shambolic football in the first 15 minutes. We conceded the fastest goal, where it was the first time that we are conceding 2 goals so early in the Premier League history. In Premier League history, we've never conceded 2 goals so early. As at 3 minutes 48 seconds, we had conceded 2 goals. It was crazy. It was completely crazy, and I just felt like I couldn't watch the game anymore. So I was doing something else, and I think I was watching another game. There was another game going on at that time. I switched to that game, and then I was monitoring the results online, and then thankfully we won 3-2. But Ten Hag complained about giving away easy goals. He complained about giving away easy goals. I don't know what happened, but we need to change. We've not been playing very well since the season started, and we are playing against Arsenal in our next game. So kind of a game that we could lose, and it wouldn't be the best start for us, in the new season. So let's see. I'm not really hopeful in that game, considering how we are playing. The whole team is disorganized from the head, from the management, from the board to the management. to the technical team, and then to the players. I mean, everything is really, wrong. There's something wrong with the club, I think. How we handle the Mason Greenwood saga, completely shambolic, decision making. And then, now, it's like the whole thing is crumbling from the top. And we need to find solutions very fast. Maybe a total seal, by the club would help. But the owners currently are confused. To me, that's how I see it. Either they don't know whether they want to sell, or they were just testing the waters, which is very unprofessional. Look, like I said, the whole club, everything is wrong with the club. And right now, I just want to observe Manchester United from afar. I'm not going to commit my emotions to it, because to be honest, I think that the board and the management are not really serious about the sporting project that Erik ten Hag is trying to build right here. Also, at the camp of PSG, Mbappe is back. First game for Les Parisiens. He scored a brace and the fans loved it. I mean, it's shocking. Mbappe, I mean, the team, the Nasser Al-Khelaifi said, hey, you are not going to play for PSG if you don't sign a new contract. He says, and then, Mbappe called his bluff. He stayed and said, I'm not going to, sign a contract, but I'm going to stay. He was, banned from preseason, a whole talk about, the whole circus, about the whole thing. But after, drawing in the first game, they called him again to come into the team. There are rumors that he's going to sign a new contract, but he's not going to sign that contract. Like I said on Pius Football, Mbappe is going to play for free, play and then go for free next year to Real Madrid. So, I mean, he scored a brace. The fans were happy to have him back. Surprisingly, there were banners, by the fans. The PSG Ultras, came out with a huge banner, attacking Messi and Neymar. Surprisingly, they felt that Messi and Neymar were the problem at PSG and not Mbappe. And they called them rude. And some of the fans even went as far as go to the US and the MLS, the game that Messi played over the weekend. There were some ultras PSG fans there, who put up a banner calling Messi rude. Messi has come out to explain why he was unhappy for the whole 2 years he spent in Paris. But Neymar also had issues with the fans, and I'm sure that it was the right time for him to leave for Al Hilal. But I think that the PSG fans should really kind of appreciate what Neymar has done for the club. It was unfortunate that he was saddled with a lot of injuries, but I don't think it was fair of them to kind of attack him that way. Also, at the camp of Barca Villarreal, pulsating game 4-3. Lamine Yamal, like I said, was exciting to watch. And also, overall, I think that Barca are going to do well. I think they're going to win the league. They're going to win the league. I have said that Real Madrid without a striker, I don't tip them to win the La Liga. Now it shows they are struggling to score goals. Now, Jude Bellingham has been saving them. They won 1-0 against Celta Vigo over the weekend, but they are struggling. They are struggling to score. Vinicius is injured, which kind of compounds their problems in attack. So let's see. I'm still tipping Barca to win the La Liga. Also at the camp, last story is Liverpool this late evening. They kind of late afternoon. Sorry, they won against Newcastle. It was one of those games that I felt Newcastle were going to win. With Van Dijk, receiving a red card early on in the game in the first half, and then they going up. Newcastle going up by 1-0. Liverpool came back. I'm not happy about this. But Liverpool came back strong. Darwin Núñez, who the kind of striker that I said is going to struggle in the Premier League because of his first touch, his positioning is poor. But he's kind of and it confirms my position, because the manager has been putting him on the bench. He's been on the bench for some games now. Now he came on. He didn't even start this game. He came on in the second half and bags a brace. Now people are saying that, telling the manager that, look, you need to starting me. So let's see. Maybe Klopp will start Darwin Núñez in his next game. Klopp said in the after the game that he cannot start more than 11 players. But that is just his way of saying that, hey, I prefer Jota ahead of you. But if you want to start, you need to do what you were bought for. Huge money. He came for a huge money from Benfica. He needs to start scoring goals. So hopefully this will be the start that he needs to keep going. Hopefully Klopp will start him in his next game. But for now, it looks like Liverpool are doing very well. Now the Premier League table, City are the only club that are yet to lose a game. They've won all three games. Kind of shows they are the favorites for the Premier League. Like a lot of my panelists said before the season started about assessing teams' chances in the Premier League. Everyone thought that City, almost everyone thought that City was going to win the Premier League. And indeed, you are topping the table, 9 points out of 3. Then I think a host of seven points from Tottenham, Liverpool, I think Arsenal. And one or two teams in there. Manchester United and the rest follow with 6 points with teams that have already lost a game. So, I mean, it's early days yet. I honestly don't really look at the Premier League table at the start of the season like this. I start, looking at the table somewhere after the winter, from January onwards. That is where the real deal is. So hopefully that is what it is. Hopefully United and all the teams are going to improve. Teams that are struggling are going to improve. Thank you very much for staying with me on Pious Football. It was exciting. Ghanaian fans are excited for Mohamed Kudus. So let's see how that goes for everyone. Bye.